Yo, this is SoulDrum86 bringing you another video. So, when I look at my catalog of PlayStation 5 games, I can't think of any that I can see myself years down the line revisiting and going back to. I have revisited more PlayStation 4 games than I have PlayStation 5 games. Typically, they're one and done. I don't finish them because they were overhyped and underdelivered, or the gameplay loop got boring. Um, I don't know. You just kind of run into that a lot. Like I love Spider-Man, like all of the series of Spider-Man games. Miles Morales, Spider-Man 1, 2. I love those games. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, love those games. But out of all the games that I have, I could see myself going back to Ratchet and Clank maybe because that game was extremely fun. Like it never got boring. I never felt like, okay, I really just kind of want to finish this. Cause you know how like when you're a completionist and you're playing a game, you're enjoying it at first. And even though the experience doesn't get bad, you kind of get to that point where you're just like, all right, I want to finish it just because like I'm trying to complete the game. I never got like that playing Ratchet and Clank. I was there like just for the entire ride, and it was the most enjoyable experience that I've had on the PS5. And I mean that, like that's been my most enjoyable experience. But I think of the fact that like, without competition, I don't want to go and revisit any NBA 2Ks from this current generation. I don't even play the game anymore. Same with WWE 2K. We don't have the type of wrestling games that we used to have. So and the reason why I bring this topic up is because I retro game. I talk about this quite often on this channel, and I, I play a lot of PlayStation 1 and 2 games, 3, and I'm telling you guys, man, I've said it before, but the joy that I feel when I play those games, it is unmatched. That joy that I have playing games, I start to notice really isn't there when I play most current games, and that's kind of sad, because that's what games should be able to do. I mean, I play NBA Jam and I'm excited, I'm happy to play it, and I'm enjoying myself and I'm smiling while playing it, and it's just a completely different vibe. And you can tell it's not just nostalgia, because when it's nostalgia, what kind of triggers nostalgia? Your memories, you reminiscing of the first time you played a certain game. But then when you actually have that game and you play it, if it's kind of one of those experiences where you're like, oof, I can't believe I like this, that's when it's just nostalgia. But when you're playing a game that's old, you pop it in for the first time in years and you play it and it still holds up, that's when you know the game is good. And a lot of retro games are still that good. They blow anything that comes out today out of the water. I'm sorry, they do. I watch a lot of gameplay videos, like people playing games that look good but just aren't for me, and I'll watch people play. And when you watch people play a game and it's boring, that's a problem, because there are games that you'll see people playing that look like a ton of fun, but a lot of games that come out these days, they just feel so boring. Not only to play, but to watch. I hate these games where there's moments of action and then the other moments of the game, you're just simply walking around. You're talking to somebody. And now granted, that's always been a thing, but I just felt like they used to be handled better. Like Shimu was great, I thought, for the Dream. I loved that game for the Dreamcast. If Shimu were to come out today, if they would have remake that game like brand new, like not like just totally take that game and bring it into like today, but just if they were to make that game today, I feel like it would be extremely boring. It's something about like today's games that just lack a lot of soul. And just watching people play these games and they're just walking around and nothing's happening. Like if you see a real big difference from games that were made before compared to games that are made now. It felt like games from before, you were always, I don't know, they were just I don't know, they were more engaging. The gameplay loop was better. The controls were better, more times more simplistic, which added to the replayability. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. Dude, I was playing NFL Blitz, and that game is still so much fun. Just like NBA Jam, just like games like NBA Street, Def Jam, Fight for New York, Def Jam Vendetta. I have Def Jam Vendetta. I want Fight for New York, but that is so expensive online. One day I'm about to bite the bullet because I think that game is that good. One day, and it'll be soon, I want to find the most decent priced version of that game and buy it because I missed that game. I missed that game. I just think that it's a ton of fun. Badass. Yeah, or better yet, I might just borrow it from my nephew, to be honest with you, because I forgot my nephew has that game. I might just borrow it from him. But yeah, man, I just retro gaming, man. Look, I am all for the pressuring Sony to hopefully change their all digital future, right? That they're planning to implement fairly soon, right? About a year and a half, and they're trying to implement like, look, no disc going forward. I think that's BS because I'm a physical media collector, whether it's DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks, games. Me and my wife, we like owning stuff. And it's also just nice to have those collections. Like if you go on any of the streaming services and you're doom scrolling, we actually find things to watch a lot faster when we look through our collection of movies, man. It's like we got a damn video store in this place. You know what I mean? Like it literally, we got like a video store in our house, man. And I'm somebody that doesn't want to see physical media go away. I still buy vinyl. You know what I mean? I buy records, and there's just something to that. You know what I mean? And I don't want that to end with gaming. That was always the whole point of consoles, like buying cartridges, buying the game, having the disc, and furthermore, I miss having the booklet in the case. You know what I mean? Even though I would only skim through it, I wouldn't even really look to see like, oh, how do you do this? Back then, I think I can say a lot of us, we would just kind of trial and error, just kind of like see what works and remember how we did something, and then we just kind of went at it. Like that was it. But these games from before really do hold up, and I just don't think that games of today hold up as much. And I think a big reason for that is the plot has changed. It went from companies competing with each other. And I'm not talking about like genre to genre. I mean, literally, like companies, like all of them they would kind of, in a way, compete to see who can make the most fun product for the fans, who could make the best, most playable game. That was what it was about. Now it's changed to these companies now are competing to see how much money they can gouge from the customer. They have these scummy anti-consumer practices, and everybody has a different level to it. One company will do this, and then the other company will say, hey, let's do this, but then and some. I think of the WWE 2K thing. WWE 2K26, even from the big content creators, shouldn't have sold anything. It really shouldn't have sold anything. I feel like they could have started a movement, much like what's happening with PlayStation right now. They could have started a movement to say, all right, we're not going for this. And even though the backlash was so big that 2K ended up, changing how the ringside pass works, when everybody found out about that ringside pass, it should have been like, they should have had no sales, realistically. And there were people who, oddly enough, were trying to argue for the ringside pass, which they're probably eating their words now, because I don't see anybody that's saying any of that now. As a matter of fact, WWE 2K26 seems pretty much dead at this point. I don't see anybody really talking about that. Everybody that does make content on WWE 2K, they haven't made content on it in quite some time. And I voiced my opinion about this. I'm not trying to take this video to that direction, but I do WWE 2K related videos. So I just wanted to throw that out there because it does fit with what I'm saying. WWE 2K prioritizes, hey, let's have 4 different versions of our game. And the most expensive version is going to be $150. And on top of that, when you get these more expensive versions of the game, you're going to buy the DLC up front, right? But instead of being able to get the characters once they become available, you're going to have to play hours and hours of the game to then unlock that character. And then when, fans find out different ways to get everything unlocked fast, we'll patch it and make it more difficult for them to do that. I mean, yes, they've doubled back and changed that system. But still, it should have never been implemented in the first place. That was the most scummy thing that a company could do. That was one of the most scummy things that a company could do. And yet people went ahead and they bought it because of reasons. Because, hey, 2K is the game that I play all the time. It doesn't matter. If they're doing something anti-consumer, you hold your money until they make a change. You don't think that it'll happen? We have had time and time again, history has proven us, even recent history, that when customers are in an uproar about something and people really truly fight back and you hurt the bottom line of these companies, they will bend to us. That's how it always works. That's how it always has been. The only reason why it doesn't work all the time with gaming is because people find it very, very difficult to hold the line. Gamers find it very, very difficult to hold the line. And I know why that is. It's because we grew up doing this stuff. So gaming is our thing. There's FOMO that's attached to it, but bigger than FOMO, gaming is our thing. And then a lot of the times people just say, oh, well, this is the gaming industry now. How many videos have you seen where a content creator will say, guys, I don't like it, but this is the industry now? No, that's not how you throw in the towel. You don't do that. It might be the industry now, but it takes us to change what the industry has become. And look at what the industry has become. It's the main topic of this video. Games don't last like they used to. Games don't last like they used to. I can't picture anybody going back to play any of these games that have come out for this generation of gaming. I can't think of any game. Now, I know that everybody is different. But I mean, think about it. You have these games that come out yearly that people play online. But what do they do eventually? Eventually, what people mainly play the game for, the online aspect, eventually that goes away. Why? Because every year there's new games that come out. Call of Duty, Madden, 2K, college football. Now, granted, in college football and in Madden, people do mostly play like the Road to Glory, the superstar mode, or the franchise mode. So those are a little bit different, but still, they still have a big online presence as well. And so nobody years from now is going to go back and play college football 25. Nobody is going to go back and play like a lot of these old games. I mean, WWE 2K for that matter, people that play that online. There's no reason to go back to it because every year they come out with a new game. And this is the design for a lot of games. Online has taken over so much. It's been a detriment to gaming because companies now, they will build their game based off of the online aspect. Look at NBA The Run. It released with no offline modes, no exhibition, no local way to play somebody, couch co-op, no campaign mode of any kind, when all they needed to do was do an offline ladder, just play through 10 random 3v3 matches. But no, it had to be online. And so that standpoint alone, it hurts these games from being able to go back to later down the line. On top of what I've mentioned before, the focus is about how much money they can get off of the customer. That's been the focus. How much money can they get off of the customer? And that's it. It has not been any other thing but that. Games that are made online. I mean, look, thank God that we have Stop Killing Games and they've been able to, change the Crew. The Crew 2 now has an offline mode. So that game now can live on because you can go back and install the Crew 2 and play that game because it has an offline mode. The Crew Motorfest is getting ready to have an offline mode. And I don't know when they're going to do that, when they're going to implement that. I don't know if it'll be next year or the year after. I'm guessing it's going to be pretty much like close to the end of the life cycle of that game. But even that aspect of gaming was terrible. These live service games where, you know, until Stop Killing Games came in to try to make a change, you had these games that were existing for maybe 5 years. And then once the development team decided, hey, yeah, we're done focusing on this game, and then it just goes away. So people that enjoyed and respected and appreciated the hard work that everybody went into to make that product, you're taking something away from the people who put their money down and continue to put their money down, because when it's a live service game, you continue to pay for the updates. So all of that, and then the game would just go away. How is that fun? That's not gaming, in my opinion. That's not gaming. But when I play these old games, like the ones that I mentioned, they're fun. I don't have to wait for internet connection. It's not a game that is online, mostly because they're so old. There was no online back then. It was all couch co-op, but still, the games still hold up. And this is why I will always say this, and nobody will ever be able to change my mind. Gaming was simply better before when you look at everything. I mean, people have been telling you gaming was better just simply by when they can do the comparisons. Look, NBA The Run is a fun game, but it doesn't hold a candle to NBA Street. It doesn't hold a candle to NBA Street. Even Home Court, the one that a lot of people don't really like, it's not even better than Home Court. NFL Blitz, NBA Jam. And I know I'm going through like more of the arcade like titles, but just down the line, period. Like games were just better before, man. They were. It was nice when we had games like Medal of Honor. It was nice when we had those. Soulcom. Just all of these games, man. Spec Ops The Line on PS3. Love that game. I own that game. That game was so much fun, and it still is today. I can go back and play Spec Ops The Line. Games, like I said, don't have an expiration date, but when it comes to this current generation, when you think about it, they actually kind of do. Because they are built in a way where they're supposed to last for as long as the developers want it to last, as opposed to making something that just lives on forever. Because right now, right, without the Crew Motorfest, for example, right now, that game is online only. If the servers go down, you can't play the game. Every time they're doing maintenance, you can't play the game. Every time there's an update that they're doing, like when they're implementing a new playlist and stuff like that, when you try to boot up the game when they're doing it, it's down for maintenance, and it's down for quite some time. It is down for quite some time. The last update, I never realized this because I would always be at work. But, you know, for the 4th of July weekend, when I had Friday off, they were doing an update for the Crew, and it didn't become ready until like 1 in the afternoon. Until about 1 in the afternoon is when it finally became available. That's not fun. That's more frustrating than anything. Being able to pop in these PS2 games and not worrying about an install, being able to just go. So even though the load times might be longer, for the experience that you're about to have, I don't care about the load times. And the load times actually aren't that bad for a lot of these games. Like I'm playing PS1 games, like NFL Blitz loads pretty fast. It loads pretty fast. I keep bringing up NFL Blitz because that's the one that I'm playing currently. But I felt compelled to make this video because I'm playing that game and I'm just like, wow, it feels like this game just came out, even though I know it didn't. I mean, hell, you can look at the graphics and tell that it didn't just come out, but I'm playing the game and I'm just like, damn, I miss this feeling. I miss this joy that I had playing video games. Now I feel like a lot of the times I'm playing these games on my PS5 and I'm just kind of going through the motions. I'm like, what is even making me cut the game on at this point? Is it habit? Like, am I cutting these games on out of habit? There are times where I'm having fun playing the games that I own on the PS5, but for the most part, I'm like, why am I playing this? Like, why am I playing this? But when I'm playing the retro games, there's a reason behind it, and I'm happy when I'm playing those games. Even though this is on the PS5, it still counts as retro gaming. When I'm playing the old games on Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, I'm having fun playing Mortal Kombat 2, the arcade version of it, and so on and so forth. Like, I'm having fun playing those games. I'm playing these new games. I'm really not having that much fun. I'm just doing the thing because so many games are based off of how many credits you can earn to be able to purchase a car or an extra skin or weapons. And then you start to realize that, wow, I'm playing this game because the company is kind of forcing me to play the game. I need to gain this amount of XP and this and this. So that's why I'm playing the game. And that's why I disagree with WWE 2K implementing the ringside pass, because I'm like, you're forcing the players to play the game in a way that they're not used to playing. People don't want to feel like, okay, it's a job. People want to turn on a game for the simple fact that you made the game a fun experience. That's what's missing in the gaming industry today. It feels like work as opposed to it feeling like free time. Those are my thoughts. You guys let me know what you feel in the comment section. It's your boy Soul Drum 86, and I'm out. Peace.